be very careful about not letting the ends of them getting caught in your hair and ripping your hair, because it seems like my hair is very prone to ripping and pulling. That's very uncomfortable. But I do like that I can pat these in, and I think I can go right with them. Greetings, this is Body-Culinary, and I'm just here to share these little pipe cleaners on my SemiFreeform. So it's really hot. It's very, very hot here, which I ain't complaining about because I love the heat. It's better than having my fingers frozen off because I'm very sensitive to the cold. But I'm just getting some length on my very fine, skinny SemiFreeforms. And sometimes when I'm doing stretches or exercise, I don't like the feeling of hair in my face. So now I've got a little length that starts to go on my eyes, or if I'm sweating, it to be on my neck, or from the side bend it going in my face. So I don't like things in my hair or in my face or on my neck. So these pipe cleaner curls are light because everything feels uncomfortable to my very tender head. So sponge rollers, you know, I don't like the look if I have to go outside. I just need my lifestyle to be on the go all the time and to be comfortable if I want to lay down and take a little afternoon nap. So I wanted to try sponge curls, but I'm just not in the mood to buy any more stuff that's going to go into the graveyard of things. So I had these old pipe cleaners. Look at that, my hair pops off so easily and it breaks. But I had these, so, and my hair is an interesting color. Sometimes it can even look like it has buildup, but it's not. It's just the sun actually bleaching. So it doesn't really even hold that well. So I have these in there just to keep them up so it stays off of my neck. And it kind of reminds me of back in the day, if you all remember when Lauryn Hill had those little coils in her hair, you know, back in the day. It's a little dark in here on the light. So yeah, so these are just some pipe cleaner curls. So that's what's going on the hair front. So I took them out, but I put them right back in because it's hot, and I kind of don't want to really be bothered. I have other things to do other than to play in my hair all day. Back in the day, I used to love to take hours to do it, but I have other things to do. I can be in the garden or preparing some food or working on some other projects. So that's the hair. And then the other thing in terms of being plant-based, I just finished a lovely little meal, which is all gone. The bowl is empty, of some collards that came right from my little garden, my humble tiny little garden from out in the yard. So it's not a very big space at all, but the collards, some of the leaves are getting like this big. So it's really amazing to me. And I'm someone that's always been determined to grow my own food, even on a fire escape in New York City. I was growing some tomatoes, some herbs, and I've been growing sprouts, which cost still relatively pennies per pound, in jars and stockings and strainers and everything. So I'm determined that everybody can grow something. But as I'm sitting here and I'm eating my meal with, yes, my coconut cream pressed from my hand, and my collard greens growing from my yard, and some wraps that I made, totally bread and flour free by hand, and I shared it with some folks. And I sit back and I think, wow, it's really amazing. You know, all of this came from my own hands, and that's really a good feeling. Just as good as feeling really comfortable in my own skin and appreciating myself without an ounce of makeup, feeling like I don't really need anything, and my scalp and my skin can breathe without hundreds of dollars of products weighing down on my wallet. Yeah, weighing down on my pores so that I can breathe. And I just have to reminisce way back in the days, almost 30 years ago, when family members and people laughed at me. I didn't call it plant-based back then. I guess we called it vegetarian, but I just knew I didn't want to eat meat, and I was very aware of the obesity and the stress eating, and basically medicating ourselves with food, particularly the women in my family, and the diabetes and high blood pressure. So I knew that that was waiting for me. But way back in the day when I discovered falafels and veggie meats and the fake meats in the can, and then I discovered the food co-op, and little by little organic, if that's what they were calling it back in the days. I didn't really know it was a big thing when I first joined the food co-op. People laughed at me and said I was eating rabbit food. So I think it's so interesting to see so many people. It's actually really wonderful that people are going plant-based. And I'm sure it's cycles. There are cycles before, maybe perhaps in the 60s and 70s, different revolutionary periods. There's an upsurge in awareness of plant-based eating and people being more concerned about world peace and how humans are interacting. But I just think it's really interesting that it wasn't really in style. I remember when I was first inspired by one of my elder mentors back in the day, and she was the first person I saw wearing vegan shoes. And as I was researching on my own way back then, I found some Buddhist monks online that were talking about the energy of the slain animal. I decided to wear vegan shoes, and they weren't the most stylish. I used to go to Payless and get vegan shoes. They look kind of corny, but back then I was just really feeling sensitive, especially as a black person watching so much violence and drug use in our community. I was just very turned off to the idea of the enslavement of other animals, violence against other creatures, and I even pondered on maybe that's part of the reason why certain energy or experiences continue to come at us, because while certain things have been done to us, that we may not be as considerate to other animals. So anyway, it wasn't popular back then at all, and I was always looking for people to do this stuff with, particularly when it came to exercise, dance. I did find some people in African dance class when I got there. So hint, hint, you'll meet people when you get there. But I'm really glad to see there's so much of an upsurge of natural hair. I definitely saw it years ago in the Bayesian community, because part of my family is from Barbados. And a lot of Bayesian sisters were rocking their locks way back in the day. But in the States, it wasn't so much, unless I went to dance class. So it's really interesting to see, and I'm just glad to see more people embracing themselves. And now as I go into another phase of life, becoming more comfortable with the different changes in my body as it matures. But I'm always feeling confident and feeling good about making the choice to make my body be the best it can be, and being comfortable in my body. Even when it comes to exercise, as someone that's used to compete in fitness and worked in the fitness industry, still being comfortable with the body and not trying to beat it into submission and letting the ego be way ahead of the body, or feeling like my body makes me better than other people, so just sharing the little hair update. So now the one thing I will say, back to these locks with the pipe cleaners, some of them are brown and some of them are black. You have to be very careful about not letting the ends of them getting caught in your hair and ripping your hair, because it seems like my hair is very prone to ripping and pulling. That's very uncomfortable. But I do like that I can pat these in, and I think I can go running with them, or I can do practice some handstands with them. So I'm just loving this quick, simple little style. So let me know what styles you are implementing for your very delicate hair. That's oil and product free, because that's what I'm rocking here. I'm really feeling simplicity. All right then, so do subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to comment and to share. Do check out the puppet series, Sister Butterfly and Sister Monkey Learn to Eat Better. There are 10 free episodes on this channel. And if you folks are interested in living foods and beginning gardening, you can hit me up. All of my contact info and links are in the bio. And I also share lots of what's going on in the garden over on my Instagram page, Body-Culinary. All right then, create a great day.